All right, welcome to episode 107 of Those Millennials Podcast. Today I'm your humble, gracious, and highly favored host, K the Classic. I'm here with my nearest and dearest, my boys in real life. Jesse's here. Jess, how you doing?
Yo, what's good? What's good?
Rail's here. Rail, how you feeling?
Gucci, man.
Rail, I know we're gonna start off with somber. I know you probably wanted to say your condolences to your cousin, so I'm gonna let you get it off the rip.
Yeah, just it's been a rough week for me. I lost my cousin this week. He was murdered this past week in Humble, Texas. I just want to say, condolences to my aunt. It's one of her sons, and it's just been rough. And it just we got to do better as people. Also, to my good friend Vanessa, she lost her father.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So praying for you, Nessa. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So it's just been a crazy, but I'm here. I'm smiling. Like my cousin. My cousin's spirit. It's all around me. So I'm gonna just keep doing shit the right way, and hopefully everybody in the world start doing better because we definitely got to do better, bro. Like and not to make this a tangent, but sometimes you forget that we still got to do better. Sometimes we forget, sometimes you see like simple interactions and you be like, or I'll get to a certain point of my life because I'm working and I'm like, like shit can't still be that way where it's like, niggas is still, killing each other and doing shit like this. And I'm not saying I'm oblivious to it because I see it every day, but until it hit home, you never really know how close the shit is. Like, this man was somebody who I could call, and I'm supposed to go visit him. So it's like, it just ultimately just doing better as a community. Everybody not going to change shit, but killing a man at work. My cousin was at work when he got killed. So it just shows you the kind of person he was. He didn't kill at a party or do dumb shit. He was at work. So he was a mechanic.
Doing what he's supposed to do.
Doing what he's supposed to do.
To support
and
himself.
I pray for his baby mama and his 7-year-old daughter. So
that's cold game. Now a 7-year-old is out here without a pop.
So Dwayne Wilkerson, love you, man. I'm doing this for you. This show's for you.
That's tough, but yeah, I really enjoy the thought of just doing better as a community and as a person. I think about that all the time. All that shit is not lost on me. I think about shit like that all the time.
You forget it sometimes. You think we kind of everybody doing better, or you may nod to a couple black dudes, or you may just get but you forget that there's people out there who still exist. You gotta do better.
I hate to be the dad on here and say that, but like every time I just think about my daughter and shit all the time, constantly think about her and just how I can be a better father, better son, better adult, better man. And it constantly weighs on me. Even more. All right, hard transition. First and foremost, we want to say thank you for our listenership that listen to us on our streaming services, and also if you check us out, if you want to check out three mid-looking dudes on YouTube, we love our YouTube viewership. I'm speaking for myself. Oh, my bad. All right.
One fit nigga, one chubby cute nigga, the chocolate stepper, and then Carl Winslow.
Wow.
Nah, I'm mid.
There we go. So 2 mid niggas in a row. There you go. All right. So the playoffs are here. We're gonna dig deep and talk about our favorite matchups, our favorite storylines. Oh, I'm sorry. Damn.
We are?
Yeah, we are. So add to the RIPs because I want to RIP to Dwayne Hoskins like that too, like that hit and and Adam Schefter, you're a piece of shit. But
the wording of the text was bad. I mean, the wording of the tweet was bad, but I mean, I don't think he meant it. I don't think he meant it in malice.
I know. No.
You got to tweet better. You got to tweet better than that.
No, look, Adam Schefter, you were wrong, but Gil Brandt,
you're a piece of shit.
What Adam Schefter did was not surprising because Adam Schefter goes into forgot mode. So it's like he wasn't trying to be disrespectful. Gil Brandt, by the way,
trying to be disrespectful.
I agree with that. But this is why I say Adam Schefter is a piece of shit because he corrected the tweet, right? But he tweeted what he said. And then he corrected it and flipped it. And then Twitter has this feature to where like people were posting and saying, "Nigga, we know what you put. We know what you put." Like it was blocking users after if they mentioned anything about that tweet. They were like people were literally getting blocked from Adam Schefter. He had him on auto block. So he had to put that feature on. So you're a piece of shit for that, Adam Schefter. Own your shit.
Well, I would say
okay.
Own your shit. Ultimately, the 4-letter network, you just fuck yourself. People are figuring the 4-letter network out. They're figuring them out. They're figuring the 4-letter network and how they operate out. And soon we're gonna stop doing that for sports. And we're gonna come here for sports.
let's say that. All right, so. Obviously, we're recording on a Thursday evening. No games tonight, which works out for us, so we can say our picks. I wanna. We didn't talk about this off mic, but I wanna do picks, and I want one of us to I want the winner to get something and the losers to do something. We got to think of something that the losers got to do and the winner got to do. We got to think of something.
Well, I can tell you, I'm out. because the only time I'm putting me embarrassing myself is for my team. I'm not gonna lose for somebody else's team. I have to do something for the Lakers. I gotta put a trusted product on out there. So
look,
but you're Lakers, you're perfectly fine but you're gonna make picks right now about who you think is gonna win the title. You don't want to stand by your picks? You don't feel like you're confident?
No, I'm gonna stand by.
Okay, so go ahead.
Put something on the line for it.
Put something on the line for it then.
Also, you didn't have to be embarrassed. The Lakers embarrassed themselves all season long. So they spit in your face not once, not twice, but 82 times.
All right, Jesse.
Okay. All right, my bad.
All right, so we're going to talk
about a sensitive subject because the playoffs just started, and I don't know what it's like not to be here. This ain't Portland.
We don't know what it's like that either. This
I don't know what it's like not to be here. I'm in unfamiliar territory right now.
This is a good transition. So speaking of teams that don't know what it's feeling like,
wait,
the internet.
We start? Wait.
You messed up my transition. I'll continue though.
Because I was saying we got
my transition.
Can we actually talk startups the play-in? Since it's not.
That's what I was going to talk about.
Let the host.
Jesse, you just fucked me, and I fucking hate you for this with your awesome ass shirt. Anyway, we're going to talk about teams who celebrated too much. We're talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves. The internet had a lot of fun, and the TNT guys had a lot of fun with the Minnesota Timberwolves, especially Pat Bev, Ant-Man. They had a lot of fun about them. The way they celebrated, the fans had a lot of fun with how they celebrated when they beat the Clippers Tuesday night. So what do you guys think? Because we're in this weird, awkward place to where, and I know what side I rely on. I'm interested to see where what side Rel stands on this, because I have an idea where Jesse's going to side with this. We're in this awkward spot where we want players to care. Like, it matters for players to care about what they do. But then when you care too much, the internet wants to kill them for caring too much. So Rel, please let the people know and tell me why you were smiling when I mentioned this. So you kind of tipped your hand about what side you see on this. No. So how do you feel about the Minnesota Timberwolves and how they celebrated their win against the Clippers in the play-in tournament?
At first, when I first seen it, the first thing. Hold on 1 second.
Okay. All right. So for those who's listening on streaming service, he just took a swig of his Henny bottle. Continue.
First off, that's Maker's Mark. I don't fuck with no Henny. I only drink whiskey.
Yeah. My bad. It was brown. It was brown. My bad.
I only drink whiskey. But first off, when I first seen it, I was laughing. I just couldn't believe it. It just reminded me of when D'Angelo Russell won a game winner when we were winning 30 games and he ran into the crowd. And I just had PTSD about that Lakers season. Then I just got depressed. So, but honestly, I loved it because let me tell you why I loved this, because they haven't made the playoffs 2 times in 17 years. Like, and here's another thing where I loved it is because Brian Windhorst on the Hoop Collective said some stupid shit the other day where he was like, it doesn't get loud in Minnesota. I don't know if it ever get crazy in Minnesota.
He did say that. I can't wait till the pod comes out tonight. I know they're gonna kill
him. And I'm pretty sure they heard it because
they're gonna kill him.
And if I'm being completely honest, so if I talk shit about smaller markets, but at the same time, those people care about those teams. You know, yeah, you had orange ass A-Rod in the front row with a drink, and you know, and so. But overall, I loved it because Minnesota fans deserve that because they used to have the Lakers there. You know what I'm saying? So they, you know.
Look at him connecting dots for the Lakers to be named on this pod, Jesse. You see this nigga? He found a way to connect some dots to make this shit happen.
The Lakers used to be from Minneapolis, a thousand lakes. That's why we got named the Lakers. The Minnesota Timberwolves should be actually named the Lakers because it should be the Minnesota Lakers.
Yeah, but actually, this guy is really podding now. He's getting his shit off.
Actually, but overall, I just want to say I enjoyed it because that fan base earned it. I'm happy for the Ant-Man. I watched it with tears in my eyes as D'Lo came into himself because I always knew he had ice in his veins. I always knew there was ice. I always knew.
Wait, hold on.
All the Lakers, former Lakers are striving.
Give me put this on. Give me with the D'Lo. Give me with the D'Lo.
We're not gonna do that thing where we're saying how Lakers are other Lakers are striving.
3 in the vein.
Let me just say this. You said he grew into that. D'Lo's been that. That's the whole thing.
No, it was coming up.
He called first Jess. Full disclosure, Jess. He called me.
And what he did at the Nets.
I was like, he's done this.
He didn't go to the playoff with the Nets.
I'm talking about this first and foremost, that's not the playoffs. Second of all,
it's the playoff atmosphere. It was the closest thing. It was D'Lo first playoff game ever.
We're talking about you're forgetting what he did to the Nets. Like
he didn't make the playoffs.
It doesn't matter if he made the playoffs. We're talking about that ice in the veins closeout game.
You could only do that when it counts. You could only do that when it counts. That's when it matters. You don't remember when Sam Cassell did the big balls in the regular season, but I remember when he did it first to Kings and he put the series away.
All right,
and he did the big balls first to Kings.
You're actually like going into what I would lead into with this play-in. All right, so Kev, you asked the question. Mm-hmm. Is it over the top or not?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was over the top.
What?
But no.
Wait. Go ahead.
It's one of those things, besides the crying, but I know why Pat Bev was crying. I know why he was crying.
He's so petty.
This thing is so petty. But this was this nigga's NBA Finals. He don't give a fuck about nothing else. And it was like, nigga, y'all didn't go that far at the Clippers anyways. So why are you so like, anyway, whatever. But I was like, can you even show all that?
Yeah, he can. I wish we had fucking the other subscription.
But anyways, so besides the pettiness and the emotion of that, it gave us, we are forgetting Anthony Edwards is 20.
That's what I called Kevin about.
He is 20 years old. I said Anthony Edwards. Karl Anthony Towns is supposed to just barely be getting into the NBA, filling
7 years in. He's 7 years in now.
Oh my God, he is.
His old lady was kissing him like he had a good game.
Yeah, you are right. He is. Never mind.
Hey, well, hold on. We don't no Jordan Wood slander on this podcast will happen. Watch your tongue. Continue.
No, anyway, so I'm just saying, you had a young team that was energized. They play with a lot of emotions on their shoulders now. They try to be tougher, which is funny because it's like that was what Jimmy Butler was trying to do. But it takes a young buck that is younger. That it's, I'm not going to get into that team. Whatever. So all those things being said, for the first time where I was like, that NBA finally was able to create this one game tournament feeling like March Madness.
And that's what they want to duplicate. They want to duplicate that feeling that March Madness has, where it's betting galore, because they get money off of that now because NBA deals with betting, and they want, but they want that same feeling for the tournament. And
I will say
they're still speaking about this stupid fucking tournament, which I don't know how it's gonna work.
I will say this. I feel like the Clippers tried, and I'm not gonna say they didn't try. But you can kind of tell they left something in the tank because they know they still got to be like, they still had another game. Like tomorrow's games are do or die. Like tomorrow's games are do or die. Like the Clippers, like they played, and you know, I'm not taking nothing. I'm not gonna even say anyway that they kind of took it easy.
The way they played that, as soon as Karl-Anthony Towns went out, the way they played was like, what are they like? They just became extremely like predictable. One get it into Paul George shit. It was just really bad basketball. So that's why I'm just like, what happened after that? It really feels like they just like were like, we could have won, which is weird. Or my
they theory, just maybe in their mind. Well, I'll say I was just about to get there. So I have a theory too that they think. And again, I don't know. We don't know the Kawhi news. But in my opinion, they're still favorites to beat. I mean, they're at home. They're favorites to beat the Pelicans. But I will say the Pelicans do have a chance to beat them. I'm not gonna shortchange the Pelicans. I don't think the Pelicans aren't. I don't think the Pelicans have no chance. Like I already knew the Hornets had.
I chose the Pelicans on a bet.
I mean, we're hearing nothing about Kawhi, and they still haven't ruled him out. But if Kawhi just randomly pops up in a 7-game series against the Suns, again, the Suns will be massive favorites. But it does change some things. It does. It changes some shit.
I mean, as something predictable, but
it changed some shit.
It makes it harder. But we haven't seen anything about Kawhi.
We haven't seen anything about Kawhi, so you know we can't just.
Well, wait a minute. Well, they don't. That's first off because the Clippers they're
so secretive. They're so secretive.
Just like how
it's Kawhi's people, though.
Yeah, but also Kawhi, he was at the practice once. I mean, but also you know with Kawhi that Kawhi marches to his own beat. He deals with his own medical staff. His injury report is different. His injury report different from what the injury Clippers.
He doesn't trust team doctors.
He really could be probable for Sunday, and nobody
will know until an hour or 2 hours. And 2 hours until the game starts, so we just gonna have to wait and see on that.
He turns in injury reports to his coach, to Tyler.
It's crazy.
So this is how I'm feeling today.
He not playing. Just
what was I about to say? We can make this quick. Talking head shows. Again, I don't watch them anymore. Like I remember when the three of us used to watch them religiously, and we used to talk about them in group chats. I've talked about this countless times on the pod, but the fact they were trying to get rid of LaMelo Ball off the Hornets already, off of one, it was a bad game.
Really? Who said that?
It was all over Get Up.
That they were trying to trade LaMelo Ball?
Not true. They were suggesting that LaMelo Ball shouldn't, like, can a team with LaMelo Ball at the helm of your team, at the head of your team be great? It's a second year in the NBA. Like, watch out. Trae Young's great. They did what they were supposed to do. The Hornets clearly didn't look like they're ready. So we'll see where we go from there. But playoffs. I mean, because let's be 100% honest with ourselves. Whoever wins tomorrow out of the playing games, like they're gonna be heavy.
Here's the point I was gonna make. It's like you need the 9th seeds to win, at least one 9th seed to win, to make the parity work. Because if it just keeps going to like the 7th and 8th, ended up winning anyways, and this was a waste of games, and we're basically just playing one more game than every other team for no reason, that's going to be a problem. And
I will say this. The Atlanta will win a game against Miami. I can see that happening.
Two games.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just talking about in general.
It's possible.
The play.
That's what I got with Vegas.
Maybe. But the Pels, and if the Clippers don't get Kawhi,
you're saying you're saying if they win, you're saying if the Heat win, they can actually like challenge. I mean, if the Hawks win, they can actually challenge the Heat versus the ninth seed that. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, if the Cavs go to play against the Heat, I think it's a sweep.
Yeah, okay.
And
I get what
and honestly, it doesn't matter who goes against the Suns to me unless Kawhi randomly shows up.
Okay,
right, so with instead of going through each series, I just kind of want to hit on the ones that you guys feel like are the most interesting, and then we can kind of talk about those. So Jess, we can start with you.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start with the reports. This is the one I find the most interesting. So I'm gonna start with this, so we can bring this in. So today, speaking of Brian Windhorst, my boy's been hot. I can't wait to tomorrow's pod, by the way. Brian Windhorst, again, I don't know if it was Get Up or I don't know what show was on ESPN, but I got the alert that he predicts that Ben Simmons is going to make a Game 3 or Game 4 possible appearance in the Boston Celtics series. Now, that already was my favorite series. Not by far. I feel like the Minnesota Grizzlies series is going to be really good as well. That's going to be must-see TV. But do you feel like adding a Ben Simmons who hasn't played over a year, the last time he dribbled a basketball was in a playoff game, his worst, one of the worst games, in recent memory for a star player of his caliber. Do you think that's good for him to start in Game 3, Game 4 of a playoff game? And do you think the Brooklyn Nets have a chance against the Boston Celtics?
Do you think he starts? I don't see why not. I truly don't see why not. Like you're saying,
I believe Brian, his sources, because he kicked anytime his sources goes against somebody else's, like Woj or Shams, his sources seems to be more on than a lot of the insider guys.
Right. All right. So I'm just saying the Nets are used to just throwing guys out on the floor. They'll have them for 30 seconds and be like, all right, get over ahead and get out there. So I don't think this affects
They haven't done that with Blake in a while, but continue.
Because they saw what happens when he got out there.
They haven't done that with Blake in a while. I'll be looking at the bench like, man, is Blake really that bad? Like, he's really that bad? He can't play no more? Keep going. Sorry.
But I think they bring him out. Here's what I think happens, because it's going to be a home game. They'll know how it looks to be against Tatum and them boys, Jaylen Brown and Marquise Smart. He'll have those three in, and he'll be like, do I need another guy with length? And he'll bring him out for defensive purposes. But this wouldn't be anything, KD. You can put any nigga on my team. I'm gonna hoop. Like Kyrie's gonna hoop. Like that's it. And that's. I don't think they worried about points wise or how much of an impact he have on the game when you have two guys that can just take over. And honestly, him having less touches means Kyrie gets more, and he has no problem with that.
So I got a question for y'all. What's the best version of Kyrie? Is it unturked jersey Kyrie? Fro Kyrie? Ramadan Kyrie? Flat Earth Kyrie?
Flat Earth wasn't doing this. Flat Earth wasn't doing this. Nah, it's like nothing against the Flat Earth. Why you want that? It's weird.
Because I think right now it's got to be Ramadan Kyrie Ramadan or Mass Kyrie, but Ramadan Kyrie I think is the man.
Okay. What?
I honestly
how I think that series.
How many games and who do you got as a winner?
The Celtics have been doing this thing of going to 7 games, 6 or 7. They grind them out each time. So it'll be a home. They'll have the home court advantage.
They have home court. They're the second seed. They're the number 2 seed in the East.
Do they have enough defense?
I will say this too. Like, if the Nets caught the Celtics at the right time, because Robert Williams was really gonna help affect the series.
All right, I give it to the Nets. Nets.
He's probably not gonna show up until like game 3 or game 4, just like Luka. Similar to Luka.
Okay. Well, like I said, yeah.
So pick a winner in how many games, Jeff? Let's say rocket science.
I said Nets in 7.
Nets in 7.
Yes. Crazy.
Okay. Remember, I'm writing these down. Nets in 7.
If there's one player that can go to, I was gonna say a different country. These edibles are kicking in.
Whoa!
I would say if there's one person that can travel and just bring a big 55, 56 point game and win, it's going to be KD or Kyrie. And we know Kyrie can show up in those. So, and we know KD can show up in those. So,
Real, who you got in this series and how many games? And then we can go after that. We can talk about your favorite series.
Boston in 6. Nets don't have enough on defense. They have this span where they just play ass defense, and
they turned that around in the playoffs last year, where they just all of a sudden was able to figure niggas out.
They also had James Harden last year, and they didn't have, they also had a big 3 last year. Similar, because James Harden on the victorious, he got injured towards that Buck series with his hamstring.
But did they really have James Harden?
He was a shell of himself. He would just run up and down the court. But the damn sure didn't have Kyrie because he got injured in the Buck series.
Yeah, Kyrie was gone.
But ultimately, this is the way the Celtics play defense. How I've seen them. Celtics actually surprisingly one of the teams I've actually watched a lot of this year, along with the Bulls. If I had to pick 2 teams other than Lakers I watch, I would say it's the Celtics and the Bulls. I watch a lot of. And I love the way the Celtics play defense. I love Ime Udoka. I love Time Lord. It's crazy because I'm not supposed to like anything Celtics, but I love Time Lord. So Celtics in 6. I think this is truthfully what I really want to see is I think this is the mantle passing, because I think Tatum's
already.
I think Tatum's here to prove himself. I think Tatum is sitting in his chair with his tequila right now, and he's taking this series personally. I think he right now, he like, okay, I'm not in that upper echelon with no proof. If I would have put out KD in the first round, that's a big mark on my record. Like I dunked on Bron as a rookie, when he was with the Cavs. People forget about that. And
the conference finals, I'm
just saying, but he hasn't reached that next level yet. He ain't one like Roman Reigns. He ain't one of them ones yet. But this playoff, I think this is the playoff series that Jason Tatum become one of them ones.
All right, well, so I'm gonna make mine short and sweet. I got Boston to 5. I don't even think this is that close, to be honest with you.
It isn't. I don't even know how the fuck Just has Nets in 7. Like I said,
I don't think this is even gonna be that close.
It's gonna be a close series. I don't even think it's gonna be a close series.
No, well, we got it. I'm glad we picked differently, because now we'll get points.
But the fact that he says we're 7, gonna get.
I know. Well, that's on him.
If it goes to 6, do I get that point?
No.
Wait, why not?
That's not gambling works.
No.
All right. So, Rel, your favorite series out of the bunch that you want to talk about the most? I literally asked him this question, and now he has to sit and think about this.
No, because there was two. Fuck you. I'm thinking about two, and I want to say the right answer because I've been thinking about both of these series all week. But ultimately, it's going to be Minnesota Grizzlies because I'm rooting for the T-Wolves. I'm just all T-Wolves right now. You know, I want D'Lo to keep advancing. But I just think that's just the best. Like, Minnesota plays them well, and Cat should have a great series. So I think personally, it's between that one or Boston, Brooklyn.
Okay, so how many games and who do you got as a winner in Timberwolves Grizzlies?
I have Timberwolves in 7.
Timberwolves in 7. Jesse.
Yes, sir.
Who do you got and how many games with the Grizzlies? The mighty, unstoppable Grizzlies who barely needs Ja Morant. And there's some speculation. There's some speculation that Ja Morant is still a little, not 100%. People got to keep in mind that if there ever was a player that you want to stay away from your superstar, it'd probably be Pat Bev. Stay the fuck away from Ja Morant, but he's gonna be guarding him this entire series. Stuff can happen. We saw it happen with Russ.
All right. This is an interesting one. This is a really great young matchup of teams. The way the Grizzlies stepped up in the playoffs last season was
in the playing.
It was dope. Like they was.
That was just the plan.
Everybody expected the Warriors to beat them though.
Exactly.
Everybody expected the Warriors to beat them after the Warriors lost to the Lakers with that LeBron 3. They expected the Warriors to come in.
So
you're muted, bro.
That was the greatest playing game ever, by the way.
All right. Oh yeah, it's only been get the fuck out of here. Just go. Please.
That's still the greatest play. That doesn't make it
2 years of playing. And
that doesn't make it less great, Kevin.
All right, cuz.
That doesn't make it less great, Kevin.
I would just say I'm gonna go with the Grizzlies. I ain't backing down from the Grizzlies, man. They're a good squad. I'll give Grizzlies in 6.
Grizz in 6.
6 of them bags.
This is a tough one. This is actually a tough one.
It's a tough series. It's pretty closer to people think.
I think this Wolves thing is real.
Me too.
I think Karl Anthony Towns have heard the noise. I don't think defensive player of the year nominee Jaren Jackson is going to be able to stop him. I don't think Steven Adams is going to be able to stop Cat. Because I expect Cat to have a couple bad games, but Anthony Edwards, I don't expect to have bad games this series.
Wait. I said the Grizzlies were in the playoffs last year. Y'all were like,
No, he was. No. Rel made that face. They were in the playoffs. They lost.
I was confused. I was like, they played hard against Utah.
Just
swear.
Yeah, but they played hard. You can.
I was so confused. I was like, huh?
So we probably won't. Okay, so just to make it interesting to get the points right, I'll pick the Wolves in 6, just to be different from Rel, who picked the Wolves in 7.
I mean, what Karl Anthony Towns are we getting?
Went first, that's the question.
What coach are we getting? The coach that leaves his player out there to get 4 fouls in the first half? Like, bruh, and he wasn't even playing well. Take him out the damn game. What are you doing?
All right, Jess, we ready to pick 2 series. So it is your job to scour the rest of the series because we're only doing 3. Scour the rest of the series. There's one obvious answer, to be honest with you. I kind of want to talk about it, but I already picked the Nets and Celtics. I should have thought about this. If you don't have one, I can talk about one if you want to pick.
I mean, I think I don't even know how. No, because Luka's going to be out the first 2 games. Yeah, that's where I was gonna go. I was gonna go Raptors 76ers because now we're gonna see.
This is the series. This is the series right here.
Now we are going to see.
Are you really excited? I'm not. I think it's gonna be Sixers. I mean, I'm interested to watch, but I think it's gonna be Sixers.
Do you want to bet? You want to make a side bet out of this bet?
What? How many games?
I got Raptors in 6. And probably I would go 5 if I was really feeling frisky, but I'm really close to saying Raptors in 6. I'm Raptors in 5.
I'm not. First up, I'm not betting on any team that's not the Lakers. So you can take off any bets. I just don't think. I just don't think that. I just don't see this. I just think it's Philly. I mean, yeah, they got a bunch of 6'9" dudes, but I think this is what Philly built for.
Jess,
they're gonna need, is it Tyrone Maxey?
Tyrese Maxey.
Tyrese.
My favorite, my second favorite sophomore.
Tyrese Maxey. If he has a great series, I think they take out the Raptors. But man, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. So I think that's
the Raptors. Okay, so let me give. So I wore this shirt for a reason. I think the Raptors. Again, I don't want to just say dark horse or whatever because everybody's been jumping on the Raptors and shit like that. I think the Raptors are going to smoke the Philadelphia 76ers. And it's not anything that Joel Embiid is going to do because I think Joel Embiid is going to do his. He's going to probably beat up on the inside. The Raptors are going to do a good job of double teaming. I just have zero faith in James Harden. Zero.
I would say this. This is the biggest series ever for James Harden.
Zero faith in James Harden.
Here's my thing though. It is so bad that he has to draw fucking OG Anunoby, who's like a fucking human sheet.
That's what I'm saying. So tell me, the Raptors switch everything. Their whole defense is 6'8", switch everything. Who does James Harden have an advantage?
Nobody on the court.
Nobody on the court.
Barnes or Trim or not even Scotty. Not even Scotty Barnes.
He can't. His feet is not fast enough to beat on Fred. You would think Fred VanVleet, right? Nope. You're not beating Fred VanVleet like that. You're not beating Scotty Barnes.
You can be Trent. You can be Trent off the dribble.
Trent. I think Gary Trent Jr. is a really good defender. I don't think he's a problem.
Well, he's their high defender and he's average. So
I don't think he's that bad. I don't think he's that bad. You're not going to do anything against Pascal Siakam. You're not doing anything against Precious Achiuwa. You're not like.
What you're telling me?
Tell me is really good.
Tell me the matchup where James Harden's gonna. All I see is James Harden missing a whole bunch of step backs.
You're telling me that Embiid should be averaging 40 a game.
He's gonna get to the free throw line. He's gonna get to the free throw line, and it's not gonna be enough because other than James Harden, the other player that they should be relying on
you're talking about what's his name?
Huh?
You're talking about what's his name? Who I can't remember his name right now, but he's a starter.
Tyrese Maxey or
no. On the Sixers, I'm about to say on the Sixers, Tobias Harris is going to be the other person that they're going to try to rely on, right?
No, because he's not even a 3. Yes, Tyrese is the 3 over Tobias.
No. I agree with what you're saying, but Tobias, his whole game is looking for matchups. Like there's no matchup for him to beat up on. He doesn't have the foot. Like again, he could shoot over Fred VanVleet, but it's not going to matter.
I would say this. I'm relying on who Tyrese Maxey more can smoke off for a third outfit than Tobias.
And then if you guys want to dig really, really, really deep, their coach Doc. I love Doc Rivers sometimes. I love Doc Rivers as a black ambassador for head coaches, but we've seen this movie with Doc before.
Don't go there.
We've seen this movie with Doc before.
The different teams.
We've seen this movie with Doc before. Where
hold on. I've been saying Doc get dealt bad hands.
He's the player. He has the team. He has the team with the higher seed. They should win, and they collapse. Am I wrong? We've seen the track record with Doc. I'm not making this up. Am I? Am I pulling this from thin air?
Can we also just say, like, I know that the Brooklyn Nets GM was like, I'm not making this deal without Seth Curry. Can we just say that was like, how did you not keep the only other guy that can shoot?
Hey, we'll see.
Who are you talking about on Philly?
Before they made the trade for James Harden, like
no, they had to trade Seth Curry because he served no purpose to them. They're Tyrese Maxey is the reason why Seth Curry got traded. If Tyrese Maxey leap doesn't happen, Seth Curry never gets traded from Philly. Because and that's how I feel, because they were going in with the idea that it was going to be Ben Simmons and Tyrese with Tyrese and Seth splitting at that shooting guard position with Ben Simmons as the point forward. But Tyrese is past Seth Curry. Tyrese is going to be make an all-star team one day.
Well, you need somebody to hit shots. Seth is still doing that.
I would take Tyrese.
But Tyrese would get his no matter what. I'm just saying.
This Tyrese first playoff game, and I think Tyrese, I'm telling you, Tyrese is going to be all-star one day. He's that good. He is that good.
It sucks for Tyrese. It sucks for Tyrese that he's coming to play with Joel Embiid, thinking all I got to do is be the number 3 guy when he really got to be the number 2 guy.
With no contract for James Harden. I don't know why he didn't go back and say, hey, let me go back at 12:01. Let me sign this stuff. Because if he knew he didn't give a fuck about playing basketball for the last 2 years, why try to finagle this money out of these teams just to fuck yourself over?
So real quick, we're running on time. So give me the winner of this series and give me how many games.
All right, the winner of this series that we are talking of, I will go. Kev, you made a convincing argument, a very convincing argument.
I want to say 5 games, but I'm giving literally Joel Embiid is the only reason why I'm thinking about 6.
I will say Sixers in 6.
Sixers in 7.
Ooh, okay.
I ain't gonna make it. I want to quit because I like Philly because that's really the team I'm really want. Well, I want anarchy this offseason. So in order for me to get anarchy, I need the Mavericks to win. I need the Sixers to lose in the first round. I need a bunch of shit to happen.
Real, you said Sixers in 7?
7.
All right, I got. I want to say 5?
I'm so concerned about Toronto's offense. They can't
want to
score
say
enough
5. Don't want to say 5.
5 is stupid. You're never going to get 5 games out of that. If they lose a game in 5, they should blow the team up if they lose in 5 games. You're not losing in 5 fucking games to the Raptors.
I'm gonna say 5.
Say 6.
I'm gonna say 5.
5 is disrespectful. 5 disrespectful.
5.
Joel Embiid never coming on his podcast. 5 disrespectful. 5 is disrespectful.
I'm gonna say 5. I'm rolling with it. Toronto.
Disrespectful.
Canada in 5. Canada in 5.
That's disrespectful. Very disrespectful. A very disrespectful Joel Embiid in his MVP season. His MVP season. He should be the MVP. And that's another thing. Why is Joel not the MVP this year? Why is that? Because if you ask me, it's harder. If you ask me, I'd rather have Aaron Gordon than Tobias Harris.
It doesn't matter. I'd rather have them. They're pretty much the same player.
Getting a shell of a all-star, I'd rather have Devon Reed.
Wait, what is that? If he's a shell of an all-star?
Hold on, I'm talking about James Harden. He got a team. Oh. I'm talking about Joel. Only thing that Joel went into this season with was with Danny Green, Tobias Harris, a bunch of jumpers, and hope for Tyrese Maxey's lead. Okay, he didn't have much. He didn't have much.
Who's Joker's legit number 2?
Who's Joel's legit number 2?
I'm saying that's a better we don't need
real. You're turning Nick right on
he's
this.
Missing.
I don't know why. I don't know why the national media poo-poos Joker's accomplishment. Joker is literally a walk-in offense.
I'm not. But no, but you're taking away from Joel Embiid though. And Joel Embiid had to put up with a lot this year though. That's
and the way he plays off of Jamal Murray, he would definitely get the MVP because it's just
he wouldn't get the MVP if Jamal Murray was healthy. Jamal Murray would take
the reason why I'm saying the numbers would go up. The passing would go up.
So I said what I said. I said what I said about Joker, but I do think for whatever reason, I think it's because he's foreign. But players like they poo-poo of Joker's accomplishments. Literally, the records between the Nuggets and the Sixers.
I mean, it's also different.
Not that differently.
It's not also that different.
The only thing to me, and I agree with you, Rel. Like in my opinion, Joe should be the MVP winner, but it's literally only because of the Ben Simmons situation.
That's it.
He literally had to deal with that Ben Simmons shit. He literally had a max contract player on his roster that did not play with him, and he rode the ship. Tyrese Maxey made the jump.
And nobody expected that Maxey jump. You hope for a jump. When it comes to banking on jumps, you just hope for it. It's nothing guaranteed.
Yeah. So that's the only reason I would give him the edge. I saw Zach Lowe's all NBA team. He got Joker number one for he did it the right way in my opinion. He made Joker the center. So it's mean Joel Embiid's going to be his second all NBA, which kind of sucks. But all right, so we're gonna do 3. These are our 3, and then next round we'll do another 3, and then we'll tally up, and then that's how we're gonna determine the winner of our contest. We still need to come up with punishment for the 2 losers and a winner for the winner. Is anybody has anything else to say before we
move that thing on? Moving on.
All right. So we're gonna talk about a little bit of TV. I always fuck up the name when I say it. Abbott Elementary finished his first season. Jesse,
yes.
How did you feel about the season finale? How did you feel about the show overall?
I thought it was a really good show. It's funny. I don't know if I was like feeling the talking directly to the camera, breaking fourth wall thing again, but I was like, I don't.
Just maybe what show started that?
I mean,
like the documentary, the documentaries.
Arrested Development.
Was Arrested Development before The Office?
Yeah, or you would say, Arrested Development's before The Office. That type of comedy was like that was Arrested Development, but you also had Reno 911.
But that was after. That was after too.
After The Office?
Reno 911 is like, what year did Reno 911 start?
I feel like Reno was before, but anyways, we'll look that up. While you're doing that, I would say I didn't know if I at first I was like, no, I don't. I was like, I want something to be new, right? But then as they were doing it, I was loving it. I love, I love that Gary is like pretty much Jim. I love the 2 older teachers. I wish I could remember their name right now, but the cast is perfectly casted. I think you have the different characters that are different, different identities and storylines and everything, and I thought it was good. I had fun with it. Shout out to them. They did a great job.
You're right. Reno 911 started 2 years before The Office.
Yeah.
Okay. At least according to Wikipedia. I agree. I love this. I started watching maybe around episode 4. Really funny show. Like I'm like, once they told me like the premise of the show and it was based in Philly, which is Philly's like one of the. It's crazy that I just talk shit about Philly in our basketball time. Not talked about Philly, but just talk about how I feel like they're going to get smoked by the Raptors. But I love Philly as a city. I've been there twice. Philly's a really cool city to visit. And I think the show is really well done, and I can't wait to figure out when, because you can kind of tell. And Jesse, maybe you're the actor, so you can kind of tell when a show's in the first season when their budget doesn't look like one of those prime shows yet. I I imagine with their second season, they're going to get a better budget, and I expect it to be a whole lot better and more. But
I mean, well, they'll get more stuff, but the thing about comedies like that, those shows that work, typically keep it in one location. So you'll have a little more fun with things, but you typically keep it in one location. It's easier to shoot, easier,
absolutely.
It doesn't take a lot to produce. 100%. The Office, how much did it look like The Office took to produce, like compared to other shows? So,
I listen to Office Ladies every week. Apparently it took a lot. But they did a lot. Like in the early years, they didn't take a lot. But once they started, the year started going
once it started
rolling,
once it was like we had to find bigger and more ideas outside. And that just means going outside the office.
They started rolling, they started to get it going.
But yeah, that's what I'm like. But typically it stays like that. And so, yes, it will definitely get better. Definitely the chemistry will build. You can see how the chemistry built like throughout the season. So it's like, but once that budget gets bigger, they're gonna have a lot of fun because they were doing some really funny stuff this season.
All right, Rel. Well, I guess we can talk about the first season. I mean, the first episode because Jesse hasn't seen any other episode of Atlanta. First episode of Atlanta.
Let's just skip on.
You don't talk about Atlanta at all?
Nah. I want to actually get some episodes in.
Okay. All right. Rel, talk about some shows that you. Yeah, it's only on 3. Rel, talk about some shows that you watch and you kind of want to let the audience know.
What were you about to say, Jesse?
I thought of another show I was watching. So go ahead.
No, go ahead. What was the show you watching?
It's a Disney show, The Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Don't watch that shit.
What?
Don't watch that shit. That was one of the first shows. And here's why I'm done with Moon Knight. Because I just hate the fact that Oscar Isaac is such a fucking bumbling idiot in that show. Like, in between, like, him when he's not Moon Knight, like, I'm sorry, spoiler alert, but in between when he can't put your fucking headphones back on, we're in the middle of the podcast, you working. So in between when he's not Moon Knight, he's just such a fucking bumbling idiot. Man. He's losing me. But I'm done. Yeah, Moon Knight is whack. But I would say the Snowfall.
It's not fucking whack. Shut the fuck up. Continue.
You like Moon Knight? I'm not dog. I'm really like Oscar Isaac is such a bumbling idiot in between when he's not Moon Knight. I wish he would just shut the fuck up and let the Moon Knight take over.
Okay, well, Jesse, you want to say something, or you want to let Jesse Rel get his bad take about Snowfall?
Go ahead, Rel. Go ahead.
And lastly, Snowfall. I just think Snowfall. Kev's critical of the season because there was a tiger in the hood, but
there's a tiger in the hood.
But we watched the episode. First off, they were in the higher parts. Like niggas have animals and shit back in the day. You didn't know, So
Mike Tyson.
I got other critiques too about the show about the
Snow and the best part of Snowfall is I think this is the season of Jerome's coming out. They finally giving Jerome ISO plays. Jerome getting ISO'd on segments, whole scenes. Jerome getting ISO'd on. Gotta get his chops out. We finally getting more Jerome, and that's what I wanted. So that's ultimately the best part of Snowfall.
They need to take. I'm so thankful that we had the first couple seasons of Snowfall when it was really, really good, and now they're literally next season is going to be the last season, so they can take this old dog out the back and pasture and just put.
See, Kev, you putting extras on it. You putting 10s on it too. You putting 10s on it.
But put this dog to sleep.
You putting the 10s on it. It's not that bad, bro.
Put this dog to sleep, man.
Nah, you putting 10s on it.
They had a whole episode where
you watch 8 seasons of fucking Walking Dead, nigga. Don't tell me put this old dog out back.
They had the whole wedding scene where everybody was fed and nobody got killed, Jesse. Nobody got offed.
Who was supposed to get whacked?
What was it? The DEA? How the agents was able to get everybody on acid?
You didn't see. This is how I know you didn't watch the whole episode. First off,
what show episode?
First off, it was the light skinned nigga who put acid in the chocolate. Second off, Franklin Mama.
Who did he work? Who did he work for?
Who? He didn't work with the Cuban government. That's Franklin Mama.
That's who put the shit in the
yeah, and the light skinned nigga, it was the one I can't think of his name right now. He was Man Boy's Scully or whatever. He's the one who put acid in the chocolate. That's why he left after he talked to Franklin. The only reason why that Cuban cop was there is because of Franklin Mama, and she was high as too. She was high as shit. So they would, but that's the thing though. He put the dope in there because he said, "I hope y'all like y'all Christmas gift, y'all wedding gift." He put it in there. That's the issue. Franklin Mama's only a snitch, but she has to die, unfortunately, in the show. So.
All right, man. Anyway, Jess, do you have any takes on Snowfall? Or I don't know if you even watch Snowfall like that.
Nah, I'm not there yet. Chief.
Okay,
yeah,
he just ruined it for you. Get your. All right, so
I'm a little too high to remember what he said.
All right, Jess, talk about your final show so we get the fuck out of here, man. So go get some meat and go to sleep. Oh man.
The nigga just grin at the camera for 30 minutes.
Wait, what was I supposed to be saying?
I gotta admit, you did better than me than when I'd be on one. I'd be contemplating should I take one before pods, and I'd be like, nah, I can't do that.
Stop trying to pod like real, y'all. Okay, pod like real.
I just chose against drinking this time. What was I supposed to be doing?
The show on Hulu you wanted to talk to me about.
Yeah, get to that.
The thing about Pam, with Renee Zellweger.
Renee Zellweger.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't say nigga in your state right now. Continue.
I was like, did I? That's why I stopped.
Wow.
Anyway,
if you make it to this part of the pod, you really having fun.
Anyways, with Renee Zellweger, she's killing it. She's definitely gonna get nominated for stuff. It's about Pam Hupp. It's a true story of how a woman, without giving, well, I don't know if I'm giving things away. You look it up, you see the whole story.
It's out there.
The way they go about it, it's funny. It's a little dark humor.
It's innovative. It's almost a little innovative.
The narration style is for something like that.
Excellent.
Dope. So I thought it was great, and it's yesterday was the last episode, so you can just zoom right through them, and it was interesting for NBC to do a show like that. So that's always good. And what else was there? Oh, The Dropout. Definitely watched The Dropout. That was really good as well. And that's based off a true story as well. So that true life stories are now really becoming a thing where
I would say this. Another show that I watched that I really liked is I can't front. We Crashed with Jared Leto. I mean, they're doing this whole reenactment of shit, like secondhand storytelling, which I didn't think would work until I watched the OJ show. But We Crashed with Jared Leto was pretty good. Also, Magic Johnson, not Magic Johnson, Showtime when it went.
Yeah, I was like, Magic, not any part of it.
No, but his day.
Nah,
his day.
Boy.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Here's why Magic.
Here we go.
Don't want the truth out. Magic don't want the truth out what was going on back in the day. So
Rail, tell the audience the real reason why you was watching.
I just want to
Don't do it.
Tell the reason.
There's a particular incident that I'm curious to find out how something happened. And
you can put two and two there. You can put two and two.
Let's just say This last episode was it just the dude from I'm terrible with fucking names. But he's from Forgetting Sarah Marshall. What's his name?
There's a million guys that Forgetting Sarah.
The main dude from Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh, Jason
Segel.
Segel. There we go. It's Segel.
Yeah, Jason Segel and playing the coach. He's just playing like this fucking timid coach, and Pat Riley playing the hippie. That shit is just not working for me. I'm sorry. Like it just Pat Riley playing this hippie before he became the Lakers coach, and he's to walk around barefoot riding bikes to the forum. It's just like it just don't work for me. But everything else does. Everything else works in this show. Like as much as exaggerated magic sex as you can do, you know what I'm saying? So. Because we don't know what the number was, but those are only two shows. So
we don't know what the number was.
We crashed and Winning Time.
Oh my god. Wow. All right. So good pod today, fellas. Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Thank you for all your viewership and your support. Please don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe to the show. It helps the show go a long way.
Mm-hmm. What?
All right. Nothing, man.
Yeah, no, nigga, hide giraffe ass.
We're those millennials.
Ad-libs.
We're those millennials and high ass Jesse, and we're out.
Nigga want the pod like real.